and welcome back to another episode of Teatime Truth Talk with your host, Alicia Pacheco, and my father,
Rev Rich.
And as always, as you know, in a couple of days from now, it's going to be another holiday, which is Valentine's Day. So, of course, the talk today is going to be based off that. But before we get into it, as always,
we want you to subscribe, we want you to like, and we want you to share. Remember, this message isn't always for you, but it definitely is for someone out there who's looking for it. And also hit that bell so you know when we launch another video on any part of our channel.
And like he said, it may not be for you, but it could be for someone else, and especially with this topic today, which is called Valentine's Day. So the situation is this. Short, sweet, and simple. Another year of being single. I'm tired of feeling so alone on Valentine's Day. What should I do?
Sucks to be you.
Oh boy. And go.
All jokes aside, but and a lot of people come off that way. They come off with, it's Valentine's Day, I got my girl, I got my guy, whatever it is, and they are celebrating and they forget that there are people who don't have anyone. So basically that's the vibe they're giving off. It's like, oh, I'm so sorry we had this talk. When you say I'm sorry, you're really saying it sucks to be you.
Yeah.
I'm good, but I'm sorry because...
Can't help you.
Right. But again, it all comes down to one thing, it's self-love. What are you doing for yourself this Valentine's Day? And you know what? I'm married 20 years plus now, and sometimes I have to remind myself that even though I like to spoil my wife and spoil my kids, I don't take time for myself sometimes, and I don't spoil myself. And then later on, it'll hit me. It'll be like, damn, I could have done this. I could have done that. And then it becomes a resentment, which comes back to that negative self-talk. So I had a mentor a number of years ago. I was between relationships. I had just left an 11-year relationship. And for whatever reason, I seemed to be attracting people or women in my life that were like 10 years younger than me. But I didn't want any of that in my life right now. So we were talking about it, and he said, well, Rich, you're doing the right thing. And I'm like, well, how am I doing the right thing? I'm alone. I don't want to be alone with it. I think I had just turned 29 or 30 at that point. So, that was many moons ago. And he said the most powerful words to me was, you will never learn to love someone until you can learn to love yourself. You will never love to be with someone unless you learn to love yourself when you're alone. Or how to love yourself being alone with yourself. And I'm like, okay, you're right. So I started going out and doing things on my own. I had a dear friend that I used to go out with him, and we would just hang out, but it was just us. There was no need for the crowds that we see now, where it seems like we have to gather as groups because we're not sure who we want to hang out with. When I started to do that, then I appreciated being with somebody, and I understood that. But it all has to start with self-love. What are you doing for yourself this Valentine's Day? Are you buying yourself a box of candy? If I had a place to smoke outside of, that's not so cold outside, I'd probably be treating myself to some cigars if I was doing a self-love thing for myself. Mm-hmm. Sitting outside and enjoying a nice, expensive cigar or something of that nature. But that's what's important here. It's like, it goes back to not listening to the people around you, and at the same point, not listening to your own self-talk. Look for people who want to positively bring you up and say, hey, I know you're alone this Valentine's, but as a friend, I wanted to say, hey, I love you. Be that person. And if you don't have those people and you're by yourself, like I said, write yourself a Valentine's create a playlist of your favorite songs. Mm-hmm. And they don't have to be mushy love songs. They could be dance hits,
I think everyone should have a playlist for every single emotion, in all honesty.
See, I can't see that because it's, like I said, we've had the and 8 principles. So when I put on music, I'm expecting an 8 principle, which is automatic positive experience. If I'm down in the dumps and I have a playlist for me to be down in the dumps, I'm just going deeper into that hole.
Well, that depends on a person, because I'm that person who's like, if I'm down in the dumps and I listen to my sad playlist, and yes, I do have a sad playlist, it makes me think about why I'm being sad, and then it makes me realize it puts me through this deep thought process, but then you at the end of the day realize there's no point of being sad. Which then I change my sad playlist to a happy playlist, and then I just keep listening to the happy playlist because I forget that it's playing. That's how I do it. I don't know. It's different for everyone else.
And she's right. It's a perspective thing. I mean, it comes to the point of how do you use it. I mean, we've had enough sad stories to know people who have played these sad songs and then, have gone to take their own lives and stuff like that. It sucks. And music is an influence. I'll give you a quick story. I mean, you were 3 years old at that point, but I remember when I had my operation and they screwed me up. We'll just leave it at that because it becomes a long story. And I was finally at my mother's house and I'm recovering. And again, talking about this negative self talk, I had people in my ear going, oh, well, you need, basically, they wanted me to go from just being released from the hospital for home care. And mind you, I had a home nurse and I had a physical therapist to running the next day because I was throwing away God's gift of life because I could have died on the operating table. So, of course, here it is. I'm laying in a bed, could hardly walk, could hardly whatever. And I remember the night that it's a song, it's an old song, it's called Far From Over. And the lyrics literally say, I may be down, but I'm far from over. And I kept playing that and playing that and playing that. Kind of like when I talk about affirmations. And that was my self-talk. And I realized I was down, but I was definitely far from over. Mm-hmm. Within a week, I was up, I was out. My physical therapist was like, I had nothing for you. There's no reason for me to come back. And I think it was maybe 2 more weeks. I was back in my home, back at work, whatever, where they wanted me to stay out another 3 months. So the point is, yeah, like you said, it really depends on what your perspective of the music at that point is. Are you using it as a tool or are you using it as just a woe is me crutch?
That was totally off topic. A little insight on music. We're a big musical family. So any way to include that, that's definitely going to happen. But back to Valentine's Day. From my perspective, I've learned I am a single person. I do not have a Valentine or a special someone like that. And honestly, I'm quite okay with it. I did the dating game, and me personally, I was like, oh, that was exciting. Okay, let's move on. But for me, I've learned from a lot of my friends and people that I've talked to many years in high school and out of high school is that when it comes to being single and with Valentine's Day, whether you're female or male, it's always, oh, well, because I don't have a Valentine, the whole idea of the day sucks. There's no point in celebrating it. It's just a normal day. The way I see it, I think you should celebrate it, like he said, with self-love. Now, of course, if you don't want to just celebrate it by yourself, of course, there's things called Galentine's Day, and I don't know if guys do that. I don't know if it's called Galentine's Day. I don't know. But if the guys want to get together, eat a bunch of food, and play video games all day on that day, do it. And appreciate and love each other. But for females who know what Valentine's Day, you get dressed, you get cute, you go out to dinner, you buy chocolates, you watch movies, you wear cute pajamas, bake, whatever. And do something like that. And if you don't have those types of friends that will do that, or if they're out doing the whole commercialized Valentine's Day thing, stay home, bake, get cute, dress up and go to dinner. Just because you don't have other people with you doesn't mean you can't celebrate it. And celebrate it for the love of yourself and the love and the journey that you've gone through. If you had a bad past and you've overcome that, celebrate it and talk about the love. If you had a great past and even better future, or just have a regular past to future combo, whichever works. Just think about the journey that you've come up and become the person you are, and that's the love that you should be celebrating on Valentine's Day. To be quite honest, because I was scrolling through TikTok, Valentine's Day was celebrated something completely different. So if you actually look up what Valentine's Day means, it has nothing to do with what we celebrated for. So you're not really missing out much. And another thing I've learned, especially from him, is that for couples themselves, if you truly love each other, yes, celebrate your love with each other on Valentine's Day, but that love should be spread out every day. Pick a random Tuesday to bring your girlfriend flowers. Pick a random Thursday and buy your boyfriend a new shirt or a cute hat or something. So Valentine's Day has become this an ideal thing that people end up hating or loving, but at the end of the day, it's just another day, another holiday, and everyone should deserve to celebrate it, like Christmas, like Easter, like the 4th of July or something. It's not just for specific people. Specific people. It can be for anybody who wants it to be whatever they want.
Well, you used the right word, ideology, because that's literally what it was. It has become such a commonplace that, and I was guilty of that, trust me. I've given 6-foot roses. I've given 5-pound boxes of chocolate. I've given diamond bracelets. I've given all kinds of stuff just because that's what was supposed to be done. And it took me years to realize that gifts should have a meaning to them.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I won't put it out here in case your mother watches this video, but you kind of saw what I got her for Valentine's Day and its meaning behind it. So the price is not $300-$400. It is not what most people think that Valentine's Day, which you're supposed to spend. I love the diamond commercials because, and again, I'm blowing up the spot, but diamonds are really not that expensive and they're not that rare.
Yeah, I found that out the hard way.
De Beers put out a campaign that a diamond ring should cost you 2 months' pay or whatever it was, and all of a sudden it took off. So now diamonds are whatever. There are so many things out there that have been exploited for commercialism. Don't get me wrong. I don't stop anybody from making a buck. Just be smart about it. But the whole point is, and you said it, do something for yourself. And if you are getting gifts for someone, and again, it's a little bit off topic, but it's on the same thing, come from the heart. I mean, back in the day, in my time, we used to do mixtapes. And that was literally a cassette tape.
Those are so cute.
And, you pick all the favorite songs you want this person or songs that meant something to that person. And I forgot, someone messaged me, it wasn't that recent, it was a couple of years ago, to say that they still had CDs. I had made them like way back when I had a CD burner with different music and all of that.
I mean, now for us, it's make a playlist.
Yeah, pretty much.
But especially with the gifts and coming from the heart, if you actually go back a couple episodes, it was around Christmas time, we actually did talk about this, about the gifts and how there should be meaning behind it, sorry. And we really did in depth talk more about that. So if you are looking for like the right gift, I know it's Christmas themed, but it's the same premise on any gift for birthday, Valentine's Day, Christmas, Mother's Day, Father's Day. A gift really should have a meaning behind it, not that it costs $500, $600. An $8 gift could have more meaning than a simple $500 gift that was just, oh, look, it's pretty and expensive.
Yep.
So I think this one is actually definitely a quicker video because it is right and straight to the point. Like I said, to summarize it all, self-love is big and key. Do something. Celebrate the holiday. Don't just brush it off and be negative about it, especially if you are single. Definitely celebrate it, whether it's you're celebrating with yourself and you get up, doll yourself up, or just stay home and bake something. Just last night, I baked emoji cupcakes and I'm obsessed with them. And I was very proud of how they turned out. For couples out there, like we said about the gifts, make sure it's from the heart and not just something expensive just so you can say you bought your girlfriend or boyfriend something very elegant when really it's nothing useful or something they truly wanted. And in total, even with all the advice, just love who you are. Self-love is the biggest thing, and you'll definitely hear a couple more episodes about that along the way. And there's also a couple other things that I'm working on that I'm going to announce later on in the videos as well. So with that, as always, we love you. Nothing you can do about it. And we'll see you next time.